Hey everyone, it's Kaylee here for Soy and Shea. Thank you so much for joining me. I know a lot of you have been asking me when the next video will come out, and you've been patiently waiting. It has been a pretty chaotic month for us, but we're starting to get back on track. We closed the shop up on the 30th of June, Sunday the 30th of June it was. That was my final trading day, and it was an absolutely fantastic day. It had been a really good week and month, and even the month before had been absolutely amazing as well. It was really overwhelming how many people who watch me here on YouTube came into the shop. People who follow me on Instagram, Facebook and all of those as well all came in to see the shop before it actually got closed down and the next chapter starts. So it was a pretty overwhelming sort of 6 weeks that I had left. As I said, the final day and there was absolutely amazing. I then got stuck into it on Monday, packing all the shop down. I finished packing up orders. I packed all the stock away, I took all the shelving and everything else down, and then on the Tuesday hubby had 10 days off as holiday leave, and he helped me. He came in, and between the two of us we managed to get the shop cleared out and redecorated by the Friday afternoon, and I handed the keys back. And to do that in 5 days, to empty a retail shop out in that amount of time, is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm so grateful to him for helping me. We really do work very well as a team, and it also helped as well. We did borrow a friend's trailer, and then the agent that we were selling our house through had a complimentary trailer that we could use as well, which was like a 10 by 7 foot trailer, I think. So instead of having to do like 5 trips for the trailer, we actually got it done. Basically we did 2 trips, but one of those trips we had a trailer each on our car, so 3 trailer loads, and we got all of that done. And then by the start of the following week we had packed up the house, hired a little removalist truck, and we moved everything up on the following Monday, and then spent our very first night in the house on that Monday night, and it was just pure bliss. It was so quiet. Where we were living in Mount Cotton, it was getting a little bit ridiculous. We had people doing donuts around roundabouts, racing up and down the main road. It was getting really noisy. Yeah, there was a couple of things that were going on, and our first night in this house, it was just so peaceful and quiet and really relaxing. So thoroughly enjoying being up here. We've been pottering around doing bits and pieces. I have been really quiet because we've only kind of had the internet put on in the last sort of week. There's been lots of things with this house that have become apparent since moving in. You know, we discovered that the electric gate wasn't working not long after actually settling on the house. We have since had that fixed, so that's all now working. And we put an electric door onto my she shed, which is currently filled with all the shop stock, and I can't park my car in it, but we've done that. We've been pottering around in the garden. We've been pulling out weeds and that sort of stuff. We've had some electric work done to there was a hideous chandelier in our dining room. We've had that taken out and spotlights put in, some extra power point plugs and stuff like that. But of course, one of the other things that we discovered, we had them come out to do the internet. They came out here and discovered that the phone cables into the property they reckon they may have been hit by lightning. The back of the plug was a little bit charred, so we had to actually have new wiring put in for that. But luckily it all got done as part of the NBN internet thing, so we didn't have to pay for that, which was really good. But it did mean that we actually didn't get the internet until the last week of July, so I've been relying on hotspotting my phone, which then meant I couldn't do any uploads here on YouTube. But that's all been sorted. We've settled into the house really well, and I have been busy working on finding a new shop. So in the last vlog I did say that I had found a shop that I was looking at. I went in to have a look and I put in my intention to lease, and one of the things they did warn me at the time was that a government agency had also put in an intention to lease. And I know that I had a longer lease term than them and possibly even offered to pay more for it, and my application got denied, and they have given it to this government body. A little bit annoyed about it because it's right in the middle of a tourist street, and just give me 2 seconds. So I was a little bit annoyed about it because it's a beautiful little tourist street, and although I believe the government agency bodies are desperately needed and they need to be easily accessible, there are plenty of little side streets that come off this main street that are all accessible, got great parking in front of them. In fact, some of the streets are far enough away from the metered paid parking section. And I just feel that these government agencies should be in these little side streets and leave the main street to the tourists. A big market that happens every Sunday, and then they have other special markets in this main street. So it really is very much a tourist destination, and I just think it's a bit sad that they are filling it. There are actually quite a number of government agencies up in this sort of area where I was looking, and as I was looking at the shops around there, I did discover that there were a few in there that kind of didn't gel with the rest of some of the little touristy things that were happening. So I was annoyed that I didn't get it over the government agency, but I'm actually also quite thankful for it as well, because it was a huge contract that I was going to enter into with it, and I wasn't feeling 100% confident on it. I did mention there was another shop that I was looking at, and I'd kind of put it to one side because of the street address, and it is actually one of these little side streets, and I thought I don't want to be down on the side street because I want to be where all that tourist traffic is flowing. I've been in the, you know, the not so prominent location. It's time to move on from there. And the more I kept looking at this shop, and like hubby and I spent 2 months, I think, trying to actually find this shop front, and we just could never find it. And I kept going back and looking at it, and the more I looked at it, I said, I think the address on this is actually wrong. And I started looking at the other businesses in the photos and worked out this other shop is actually on the main street of Bullcock Street in Caloundra. And what we've now since found out, this little group of shops is actually a unit that has been built on the property that belongs to this side street. It's really confusing. So legally, the address for this place is this little side street, but the postal address and like the Google address and everything is the main street of Caloundra in Bullcock Street. So once I figured all that out, we went and had a look, and this shop is absolutely brilliant. It's nice and light. I can use every bit of space in there. I've already got plans done out somewhere in my office here of what I want it to look like once we're in there. There's already water in there. Some other really good things is because it's actually linked to a hotel, so there's really good security. The fire system is all linked into the hotel, so that's one less thing I have to worry about. There's all really good security doors to get in, so really good location security on it. And then I also get undercover car parking, and then not only that, there is a big 9 square meter cage out the back that I can use for additional storage. And I will, once I get the keys, which should happen on the 8th of August, I will start doing a vlog and show you more about it. It has been a bit of a mission. I don't know if I actually touched on it when I did the last shop vlog. It took me 6 weeks to get the contract out of the agency for the shop, and it was just, by the time I got everything, I literally had days to get all the paperwork signed off. So this time I've gone in, you know, I've got a month, and I've, you know, said what I want to do. This is the date I want it, and literally 3.5 days before I am due to take the keys over, they finally send me a contract. And I've just said I can't do it. I actually need 7 days between signing the contract and taking the keys. Legally, you're meant to have that period of time. And giving me 3.5 days to find an accountant and a lawyer and get all my insurances and everything changed, it was just not going to happen. So we actually extended the lease by another week. and I've had to get all these changes made. So it's been a little bit of a drama. It's really had my anxiety going. I've not been feeling particularly well with it, but we are on the final stretch, and on Monday I should be going in to go and do the final signing of the paperwork, and hopefully on the Thursday I will get the keys, and then I'm hoping it's only going to take me a week to set up. I don't need to do nearly as much as what I did in the Cleveland shop, and that only took me 2 weeks. So really excited about that, really hoping to get back into making and out of this temporary office area. But yeah, it's been a pretty chaotic, hectic month, but we are absolutely loving our new home, loving our new life. And for those of you who are watching, who follow along on Instagram and are Patreon members, I know that you know and are probably waiting for our biggest news, and that is we have a new member in our family. I'll go and see if I can get her. So many of you have been asking when we are going to get a new puppy, and here she is. I have tried picking her up to bring her to the camera, but she's decided that she wants to chomp on things and wants to be an independent little miss right now rather than come and show off to the camera. We have had her for 3 days now. This is her 3rd day with us. She is a 13-week-old Mastiff cross with a Staffy, they believe. We got her from AWL Queensland, and we actually went all the way down to the Gold Coast, so an almost 2-hour drive away to go and get her. I've been following her sort of pictures on the AWL website. She was there for 10 days that we knew of. And we'd been watching her, and it's like, oh, we'd seen a few that we wanted to go and get, but it was just never the right time, and we decided, right, we're going to go and see this one. And the moment we saw her, we fell in love, and she saw us and she came and played with us. There you are. I think she's pretty camera shy, because every time you get the camera out, she just kind of wants to hide, but she is the sweetest little thing. And we were very, very sad when we actually picked her up, because we got put into the puppy pen with her, and just to make sure that, you know, we wanted to play and everything was right. And we were in there for about half an hour, and we said, yeah, we're going to take her. She's coming home with us. And the carer for her, she said, you have to know that you will be the 4th people that have adopted her this month. And my immediate response was, what was wrong with the people, which I think they kind of really appreciated, because very rarely is it a problem with the actual dog. And we found out that the first people that took her home probably only had her home, from what we can understand, a couple of nights, and returned her saying that she just didn't fit in with the family. And I've got a feeling it may be because they possibly have young children, and young children run around, squeal, puppies get excited and bite and that sort of thing. So you really have to know what you're taking on if you are taking on a puppy with young children, and you teach the children how to behave around a puppy, because it's easier to teach a child than it is to teach a puppy how to behave properly. The second people that took her, I can kind of understand why they brought her back. They had another dog which they did a meet and greet with, and they got on really well while on, you know, neutral territory. Took her home, and then the other dog decided they didn't want to share their home with the puppy, so they had to bring her back. And then the third people are the ones that actually upset me the most. They apparently picked her up, returned her a couple of days later, saying that they were moving to Melbourne and couldn't take her with them. And surely you would know that you were making such a big move at the time that you were adopting a dog. So really, really cross. And it would have literally only been days, because you can't adopt a dog until they are at least, it's 8 or 9 weeks. And she's 13 weeks, and she'd already been in the shelter for just over a week. So that meant in 3 weeks People just haven't even given her a chance. But she is the most sweetest, adorable thing. She has made us laugh. We've cried because we've laughed so much. But she's so well behaved, really, really quick learner. She sleeps all through the night. We've only had a couple of accidents in the house, and they were purely our fault, not actually watching the signs. And she was also a little bit frightened. She's had a massive day today. She got introduced to the vacuum and the steam mop, and then she's been introduced to the leaf blower and the mower. So it's been absolutely huge for her today, and she was just a little bit frightened and didn't want to come outside, and that's totally on us. So, but otherwise she has been such a good girl, and she's learned how to use a doggy door within hours of putting it up. She's learned this is how we go in and out the house. So she is incredibly smart. But you are going to get spammed with lots of puppy stuff, and you're going to get to watch this little miss grow up, and hopefully next time she'll be less focused on her sticks. And because these little teeth that are in her mouth, gosh, I don't know if it's going to actually come up on my hand here, but I am covered in so many scratches, and I've got other bruises on me, and hubby's got plasters all over him as well. But maybe next time she'll be a little bit more sleepy, so we can get a really good look at little Miss Pepper. Pepper. Get it. I just don't want to encourage you to bite the lawnmower while it's going, but don't want you to be afraid. Just had a play. She's starting to calm down a little bit more now, I say. But so we're going to have about another maybe 2 weeks of being a little bit up in the air with videos and that sort of thing. But hopefully in about 2 weeks time we will be back on track for videos. For my Patreon members, I will be back on track with getting your posts out in a bit more of a timely manner. hopefully by September we'll be well and truly back on track and everything will be back as it should be. So thank you so much for being so patient with me over the last month while we actually relocate our lives and get used to a new lifestyle as well. I'll keep you updated here with little Miss Pepper. You can see she is the sweetest dog, and I really can't understand why she, apart from the one people, I really can't understand why she was returned so many times, but grateful that we got to have her. She's decided it's bitey time again, but I will definitely keep you updated on her. So, oh dear, that's smelly. The joys of having a puppy. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed having that little bit of a catch up, and until the next video comes out, which is actually one that should have come out in July for my patron members, with regards to a product that I made, and the recipe's available on Patreon. More information on that soon. Until that video comes out, I hope you have a good one, and I will see you then with a few more scratches on me. Bye.